Today I'll be showing you how to use a program called Veracrypt. Now you might be asking yourself, what is Veracrypt? Well, Veracrypt is a program that allows you to create encrypted volumes. You can set them as drives, you can encrypt your whole system volume, which is like C drive in Windows, or you can even encrypt a flash drive. Well, let's get to it.
Yeah.
This icon right here is for Veracrypt. I will show you how to get Veracrypt safely after this demonstration. But before then, let's get into it. Once you click on Veracrypt, you'll notice that there is a lot going on here. There's different drive letters. You'll notice that the drives that are actually on your computer aren't used or aren't in the list. So you'll be able to mount afterwards, but we'll get into that. First off, you want to create a volume. Once you create the volume, or once you click on create the volume, a wizard will pop up, and it'll tell you the different options that you can use. You can encrypt the system partition, like your C drive. You can encrypt an actual drive, a flash drive, an external or internal hard drive, or you can create an encrypted container. We're gonna create an encrypted container. What this will do is create a file that will act as our actual, container where we can store our files and then encrypt it. We're gonna do a standard Veracrypt volume. You don't really need to use this. This seems like some kind of like criminal like criminal based type, like hidden volume. I don't know. It's talking about extortion and all that stuff, and if you're really in that kind of situation, shame on you. You shouldn't be doing this, but it's there for you if you really need it. But we're going to do the standard Veracrypt volume, and it's going to ask you where this volume is going to be located, so we're going to have to select a file. We're going to have to go into the drive where I want to create this file. And where did I put it? Hold on 1 second. Here we go. Veracrypt test. This is where we're going to put all of our test documents for this demonstration. We're going to create a text document. The cool thing about Veracrypt is that it'll allow you to create a container based on any file extension you want. You can do a .zip, you can do a .txt, you can do a .exe, you can do a .dll. But you want to create these files. You don't just want to pick a .dll file and screw up a whole other program, because it'll delete the actual program and replace, or the actual DLL file and replace it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to create this. We're just going to call it test. Test is perfectly fine for this demonstration. And you want to click on it. It's going to ask you if you want to replace it, because technically it already exists, and it's going to recreate this file into a container with the same name and extension. So we're going to hit yes. Next, we're going to pick the encryption options. We're going to use AES because it's supposed to be the best encryption standard. It's actually the advanced encryption standard, and it's widely used by the US government. It actually tells you right here that it's widely used by the US government, and that you're going to want, and that it pretty much that it's good. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's actually one of the best ones. And we're going to use the hashing algorithm of SHA-512. Next, we're going to pick the volume size. The volume size will specify how big you want the volume to be. This is going to be the size of your encrypted container. We're going to use 16 gigabytes because I like the number 16 for some reason. Now we can hit next. It's going to ask you for a password. This is what you're going to have to use to get into it. It says to use 20 or more characters, but the maximum possible length is 64 characters. So anywhere between 20 and 64 is going to be a really strong password. It also says to use combinations of upper, lowercase, numbers, and special characters. But we're not going to do that because I want to remember what the password is right now. So I already forgot, which is kind of unfortunate. Okay, now we created it. And again, It's going to warn you if the password's too short, it's easy to crack, using a brute force technique. We don't want that. But for this demonstration, we're not expecting to have a brute force attack, and it says that you should use 20 or more characters. But let's click yes. Now it's going to specify what kind of files you're going to be storing in there. Are you going to use large files? Do you intend to store large files? It's asking if they're larger than 4 gigs in the volume, so we're not going to do that. But you can either hit yes or no if that's what you're doing. But we're going to click no for this demonstration. Now this screen is going to create the encryption keys, allow you to select the file system for the computer. But first off, as you move your mouse, you notice that this red bar is going up, turning yellow, turning green, and what it's doing is it's actually creating the encryption key strength based on how much you move your mouse around. And as you move your mouse around, you see these numbers are these special characters creating a random pool. The more you move it, the stronger it will be. But, you know, as long as you move it until this green bar is all the way up, that'll be a strong enough encryption key. We're also going to click on the NTFS file system because we are using Windows, and that is the filing system that is used on Windows currently. Now we can actually format the drive. Once we hit format, it'll remind you again that Veracrypt will not encrypt the file, but it will delete it. What this means is that it'll actually delete the file, replace it with the encrypted container, and it'll look just like that test.txt file. As I have it over here, you see that it is still a text document, it's still all that stuff, nothing's changed. The size is 0 kilobytes. Well, let's go ahead and create it. It's going to take some time, but you can see that the size is going up, and you'll notice that it still looks like a text file. That is perfectly fine. It keeps stuff secret so that nobody knows what the file is. They think it's a text document. They don't know that it's an actual encrypted file container. So we'll let that run through, and we'll be back shortly. Alright, now it's saying that it's asking you if you want to allow this app to make changes to your device. Well, you're going to want to because it just made an encrypted container. So yes, you're going to want to click yes. Alright. Now we just wait for it to finalize. And there you go. Veracrypt volume has been created. Now you have an encrypted container. This screen will stay this screen will allow you to exit or create another volume. But we're not going to create a volume right now. We're actually going to show you how to open the volume. And see, it's up to 16 gigs now. But, alright, so now we want to select a file. We're going to select that file that we just created, the test.txt. Or is it a text file? Who knows? It might be an encrypted container. Alright, so we're going to mount it to B. We have B selected, so that's going to be our B drive. It'll show up on our, it'll show up in my computer or wherever, whatever it's called now, this PC, but we'll go into that. So we're going to mount it, and it's going to ask for that password that you created. So, in our case, a little 3-digit password with no security, whatever, it's going to open it. And it gives you a little warning. It might see unresponsive. Depending on what kind of computer you have, I have a pretty high-end computer. It'll do it really quickly. Winamp has detected removable drive. It's going to ask if there's any portable music on there. If you have any programs that are controlling any of that stuff, it's going to automatically try to, whatever. Don't worry about that. That's just my computer. And here you go. Here's your Veracrypt container. It's 16 gigabytes, like I said, and it has the AES encryption. If we actually click on it, it'll open it up, and now it's our local disk B drive. As shown, or as I said before, it will be in the B drive in this PC. So if you did click on this PC, you notice that you have a new drive, 15.9 gigs or 16 gigs. Yeah, I know my C drive and A drive are kind of full. I gotta go through and fix that. But alright, if we go into here and we click on the new folder, we can create a new folder, call it stuff, if I could spell right, stuff, and things, and go into here. You can put files, so you want to hide a text document called passwords. Well, now you can actually store your passwords in an encrypted folder. So passwords. This is a, oh, you don't want to use that. This is a password. 01 exclamation point. File and save it. Well, now you got a passwords folder that is technically protected. As long as you close it out every time, it should be protected. So, or dismount. So if I dismount it, it's not there anymore. If I go back to that test.txt, it's going to be like, this is too large for Notepad. This couldn't be a text file. Use another editor. But it technically still opened it up in text, in the text document. Well, a new text document. But it looks like a text document. Again, now you want to go back to that drive. You just, since it's already in here, you can just hit mount, type the password in, again, click OK, let it do its thing, and now you can go back into your encrypted container, and, oh, there's your password, safe and sound. You can only use this container, though, with Veracrypt. If you don't have Veracrypt and you have this file, you can't really open it. So you're going to need to have Veracrypt on your computer. The only thing that keeps you safe, though, is that it's encrypted with the AES encryption algorithm, and it has a password on it. And if you know that you have Veracrypt, you can always access any drive that you've created. You can also do this with flash drives, but we'll cover that in another video. So we will dismount. We don't need it anymore. We're just going to toss this aside. And the website that I actually went on was, hold on, Veracrypt. Ooh. I just had it, Veracrypt. We'll type in Veracrypt, and I went to this website right here, https://veracrypt.codeplex.com. And don't click on this. Don't do that. That's bad. Click on downloads. And you can click any of these ones. I'm pretty sure that we have this version of Veracrypt. Yep, Veracrypt 1.9. There's another little tip, you can check your version that way. And yep, this is Veracrypt 1.9. Click on it, and it'll download it. And there you have it. You'll have Veracrypt. All you gotta do is install it. And that I had shown you previously. Thank you and have a good day.